Lori Flackett of Siltar Solutions, and I'm here today on Focus Forward with Penny Isaac Nelson, and we're going to be talking about how to build a great team. Penny, thanks so much for being here.
Great, thanks. I'm happy to be here again.
Me too. Yeah, awesome. So, okay.
Yeah.
Team, they can make you or break you.
Absolutely.
Okay.
Make you, break you.
And you really need to get the right mix of people. How do you do it?
Well, first let me define a team for you, because I think we all may have a different picture of what that could be. So when I'm working with clients, I may be working with a client that has one employee. That's a team. That's your team. You have one. Could be 10 different people on your staff, but some of my clients work a lot with volunteers, and the volunteers are part of your team. Many of my clients work with vendors, outside vendors, who represent you out there in the world when they're not in your presence. And so I just want to expand a little and broaden that definition of team to something maybe just a little bigger than what we might think. So as we're doing that today, I just keep thinking of people that are around you on your team. Don't necessarily have to be employees. So with that.
That is great.
Yeah.
That's great. Because I talk to a lot of people and they say, well, I don't really have anyone. And I said, well, do you, do you have a designer? Well, I use the same designer all the time. Okay, that's somebody on your team. And you know, they have this one, they have that one, but they don't think about that.
And that designer, if they're asked a question about what do they do, they'll represent you and they'll say, I work for Lori's company. I do work for Lori. And they say, well, what does she do? So they're your representative. Even when they're not doing your design work, they're out in the world talking about you because it relates to what they're doing. So you have to be careful of who you surround yourself with. And so that's the important part about picking your team. You can pick a lot, there's lots of designers. So you don't have to just stay with that one if you find somebody that's not really a good fit. So let's talk about what makes them a good fit.
Okay, go ahead.
So this is one of my favorite topics to talk about. There's a leadership author whose name is Bill Hybels, and he talks a lot about what he calls the 3 C's. So when you're trying to find the right people, we say get them on the bus, the right bus, and get them in the right seat on the bus. And so when we're talking about that, he talks about the 3 C's, and the first one that we talk about is your character. And so who wants a person on their team who can't be trusted, who undermines the work of others around you, and again, if it's that designer who's outside of your immediate world, but they've got to be trustworthy, they've got to have strong character, you have to be able to trust that they're not going to steal, they're not going to take ideas and use them in other places. And so that idea of character is huge. And so it's hard to get that in an interview or a way when you're talking with someone, but you've really got to take your time to kind of dig into that a little bit and talk to people that work with them and people that have been around them who would have a better understanding of their character than you might in the short term.
So what I'm hearing, it's the same thing with everything. You check your references, you talk to people who work with them, you know, you go and you do your homework.
You got to do your homework.
So you have to do your homework when you're building your team. Okay, makes sense.
So chemistry is another one, and chemistry is thinking about the other people on your team and will this person fit, and will they be? So if you're looking at an outside, you're outsourcing. You're working with someone like me who's a contractor. You're actually hiring a staff person. You have to have a sense of that person's personality, the way they handle conflict. Just their sense of humor. Does all of that fit in the chemistry of your team and those that are already there? I had a great interview, a great example when I interviewed someone probably about 3 years ago who was off the chart competent, skills like crazy, but I knew in the interview and I knew from some other just observations that chemistry was going to be a big issue on the current team that I had. And so no matter what kind of a rock star worker this person was, that was it. Couldn't do it. So that chemistry piece really took them out of the running for the job. And so that's how important that is. So it's not just do you have the right skill, which is the other C, is your competence, but it's can you get along with people, how do you treat people, how do they treat clients, customers, all of those things. And so we've got chemistry, we have competence, your skills, whether you have the right training, certificates, your degree, whatever it is that people want. And then the last one, that's chemistry, right? Chemistry, competence, and character. That was the last one. So those are the 3 C's. And so those are the things that when I'm working with teams or putting teams together, those are the things that I look for. In fact, in my current business, when I get to the point that it's beyond what just I can do, I have a list already of people that I know. I know how they are. I know their work. I've been around them either in a past job or as a friend. And so I know, I feel really good about their character and their chemistry, and I can teach them. If they don't have the skill or exactly what I need, I'm okay to kind of fudge a little bit on that competency piece because we can teach skills. But you cannot teach character.
You know, this is the thing that I don't understand is most people, when they're looking to hire somebody, they're so focused on the education and the skill.
Yep.
You know, those aren't really the important things. It's really the chemistry and also the character of the person.
Yep.
And then how willing are they to learn, which is
Exactly.
part of the character.
Right.
So
Right.
yeah, I
Yep.
totally get it. So give us 3 tips that anybody who's trying to build a team could use to build maybe a better team.
The first one would be the thing you just said is, I forgot what you just said.
That's okay, me too.
Okay, I'll come back to that one. First, I would say hire slow, find a person on your team slow, because if you get the wrong person on the bus and now they're around you, you've made a commitment, they're in up to their eyeballs in the work and the tasks, it's really hard to remove them, and it's messy. So it's better to take your time and do a really good job of doing your work and your legwork, and don't get in a position where you've got the wrong person on the bus. So my second one is it's okay if you have more work, because there's such a tendency, I think, for people to go, I'm dying here. We've got so much to do. We've got to get this position. We've got to find this volunteer to help with this, because it's driving you crazy because you can't do it all. But don't give in to that. Take your time.
Find the right person.
Find the right person and take your time.
Okay, that's great. That's great information. So thanks so much for being here. That was wonderful. I'm Lori Flaquette of Soltar Solutions. I had Penny Isaac Nelson of Superior Results here with me today. I hope you enjoyed the show. Hope you're able to build a better team because of the information. And I'd also like to invite you to subscribe to my YouTube channel, like, comment, let me know what's going on. Let me know what you're thinking. Thanks so much for being here. Bye-bye now.